Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Amazon SageMaker Canvas. So Amazon SageMaker Canvas is a brand new tool offered by AWS that empowers anyone to build, train, and test really powerful machine learning models without writing a single line of code. So it's super powerful and really easy to use. So at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a practical example in which we are going to use a regression data set, and then we are going to build a model together, test that model, again, everything in Amazon SageMaker Canvas, and of course, without writing a single line of code. So it's gonna be really fun. If you like this video, all I ask you to do is, if you just give it, please, a like, that will really help out with the YouTube algorithm. With that said, let's go ahead and get started with the video. So the first question is, what is Amazon SageMaker Canvas? Well, Amazon SageMaker Canvas empowers anyone to build, train, and test machine learning models without writing a single line of code. Essentially, we call it a no-code tool, okay? So with AWS Canvas, you can first import data from S3 or any other resource. All what you need to do is to just upload the data, and AWS SageMaker Canvas will take care of everything for you. You can build an AI ML model in it. You can also assess the model performance. You can go ahead and perform inference and generate predictions. So once that model is trained, I can go ahead and test that model out. And again, I'm going to show you a practical example coming up next. And then we can also export that model to SageMaker Studio. There is a really seamless and powerful integration between Amazon SageMaker Canvas and Amazon SageMaker Studio as well. So for example, if we have a business analyst who decided to build a model, for example, they can pass that model from SageMaker Canvas to, let's say, a data scientist who is using a little bit more advanced tools, such as SageMaker Studio, for example, to write code and integrate it with Jupyter Notebook as well. So here is a link to the documentation. So if you just click on that link in here, it should open the documentation for you. And if you can see, basically Amazon SageMaker Canvas, you can generate accurate machine learning predictions and no code required. And if you are using the AWS free tier, if you are still within that 2 months period, you can create up to 10 models with up to 1 million cells of data, all of that for free. So I strongly recommend that you guys go ahead, give it a shot. You're gonna really like it. And here we go. Here is simply an overview of the Amazon SageMaker Canvas. First, you can browse, import, and join the data. So again, you can import the data from multiple sources. And then all what you need to do is to tell SageMaker Canvas what is the output, what I'm trying to do here, what is going to be my target or my output in my model. So you need to select values you want to predict, and then afterwards you can go ahead and prepare and analyze the data, so you can automatically detect errors. You can clean up the data. You can also help determine for you which is it a regression type problem or is it a classification type problem, for example. And then afterwards, you can go ahead and create machine learning models, again, with the click of a button. And then finally, you can afterwards understand the actual model predictions. So you can get feature importance, you can get various metrics, regression, and of course, classification metrics as well. And then you can have like a really powerful, neat interface where you can feed in your input data, testing data, and then the model is going to generate predictions for you. Many benefits available, so you can generate machine learning predictions without writing any code. You can quickly access and prepare data for machine learning models. You can also use built-in AutoML to generate predictions as well. And then finally, you can validate machine learning models with data scientists as well. So you can export that model to SageMaker Studio, where a data scientist can take a look at it and can kind of go and take that model to the next step. All right, so let me show you an overview of our project. So today, we will build, train, and test a machine learning model to predict the chances of university admission into a particular university, given that student profile. For example, I can essentially here feed in to the machine learning model all these different input features about a given student, such as their GRE score, their TOEFL score, their also university rating, which is again out of 5 here. Also, when students apply to any university, they need to write a statement of purpose. And of course, they need to get letters of recommendations. So these here, we can rank all these different letters according to their power per se. So if we have a good statement of purpose, we're going to rank that student high. We can also have a letter of recommendation strength. You can get any number between 1 and 5. We also have the undergraduate GPA of the student, and also we have the research experience as well. And that is going to be a binary input, either 0 or 1, whether that student has research expertise before. Output is going to be the chances of admission. Basically, it's a number that could range anywhere between 0 and 1. That will give me the chance whether that student would be admitted to a given university or not based on his or her features. So the tool that we're going to use is AWS SageMaker Canvas. And the practical real-world application, of course, this project can be effectively utilized by university admission departments to predict for us the top qualifying students, okay? So essentially we can automate the process, or the machine learning model can work hand in hand with the university admission as well personnel. So here is an overview of the inputs and outputs. Again, we are going to build a machine learning model here using AWS SageMaker Canvas. And of course, we are gonna do that without writing a single line of code, and that's the beauty of it. Here we have all the different inputs. We have the GRE score, TOEFL score, university rating, statement of purpose. We have also the GPA, letter of recommendation, and the research expertise. And then finally, we'll train a model, and that model is going to generate a number that will tell me what would be the chances of admission for that given student. And please note, because the output here is a numeric continuous output, this problem is considered a regression type problem because I'm trying to predict a numeric output. And then that's just simply going to conclude our project for today. So let me jump ahead to the AWS SageMaker Canvas and show you guys how to build our model together. All right, so let's go ahead and build our machine learning model using AWS SageMaker Canvas. So right now I'm in the AWS Management Console, and I want you guys to go ahead and search for SageMaker, and you should be able to see Amazon SageMaker here. Just click on it. And you should be able to see on the left-hand side that we have multiple options. We can use Studio. You can also leverage Studio Lab. You can also use Amazon SageMaker Canvas, and you can also use RStudio. So let's go ahead and click on Canvas. And here it's telling you that SageMaker Canvas, you can generate accurate machine learning predictions and no code required. Click on Launch SageMaker Canvas, and then you should be able to come here and then say Launch Canvas. And you should be able to see the application right now is getting started. And it might take, I would say, 2 minutes for the Amazon SageMaker Canvas to get started. And in the meantime, what I want you guys to do is I want you to go ahead and upload the data to S3. So I've included a link to the data set, and this is simply the university admission data set that we are going to use today. And I wanted to upload it to S3, and then I'm going to link Amazon SageMaker Canvas here to our data bucket in S3. So let me show you how we can do that. If you head back to our AWS Management Console, you should be able to see S3 here. Just click on it. And then what you need to do is that you need to go ahead and create a bucket. So I'm going to say create a bucket. I'm going to call by my bucket, let's say my first Canvas model, something like that. And then you can keep everything as default, and you go ahead and click on create bucket, and that is going to create a bucket for you. Next, what you need to do is that you need to go ahead, navigate to the bucket, which is called my first Canvas model, and simply drag and drop the file in here to upload it to S3. So let me go ahead and show you the data. So what you guys see here is I have the Excel file open, and it's called entitled University Admission. And what you guys see here is simply I have all the different columns that we discussed. I have the GRE score. I also have the TOEFL score. I also have the university rating. I have the statement of purpose, letter of recommendation, and all these different scores indicates how powerful, how strong my statement of purpose and my letter of recommendation is. I also have the GPA as well for students. I also have the research background, whether the have research or not, or came from university with research, essentially came from a research institution or not. And then here I have the chances of admission. And please note that all these are input to the model, and the chances of admission is simply the output from my model. And because here I'm predicting a continuous numeric output, simply that is going to be a regression type problem. So all I need to do is to go ahead and simply drag and drop the file simply to here. So I'm going to say university admission, drag and drop, and that is going to upload my data here to S3. And here we go. You should be able to see university admission. Looks pretty good. You just say close, and now I have the data set uploaded to my bucket in S3. If you head back to Amazon SageMaker Canvas, you will see that the application is actually still starting. Again, it's taking a little bit longer time. I would say 2 maybe minutes approximately. And here we go. Now I have the SageMaker Canvas open. So what you guys see here is the interface is actually pretty amazing. It's really simple, okay, really neat and clean. And it's geared or designed towards business analysts and essentially people with no machine learning background or experience. So on the left-hand side, you will see that here I have models and also I have data sets. So first I need to upload my data here. So click on data sets, and then you will see that you haven't imported any data set. So you say, okay, please go ahead and import data. And you will see that you can either upload data directly here or link data to S3. So you should be able to see here my first Canvas model, which is what we just created. And you should be able to see here I have my CSV file as well. So just click on it and just say import data. And that is going to here, you will see processing. And now the data has been essentially imported, or is being imported right now. And you can go ahead and actually click on it. And that is going to open the data sets once here the processing is complete. So you should be able to go ahead and actually visualize it. So here we go. So here I have my GRE score, I have my TOEFL score, university rating, GPA, research, and the chances of admission as well. So if you head back to models, now you can go ahead and create your new model. So you say, please go ahead, create a new model, and let's go ahead and give it a name. I'm gonna call it, let's say, my university admission predictor, something like that. Actually, that's pretty long one. So let's call it university admission predictor, and then say create. And then it's telling you, okay, what data do you need to use? I'm going to say, okay, please go ahead and use the university admission.csv, and then go ahead and click on select dataset. And now you moved from the select here tab to the build tab. And now you guys will see that here, all what you need to do is that you need to specify what is going to be my target column. So what you guys see here is simply I have all the different columns, and you should be able to see the data type as well associated with those. You can also see how many unique elements do we have in each column, and you can also see the mean value here as well. All what you need to do is you need to tell Amazon SageMaker Canvas what is my input and what is my output. That's all there is. And here to select the target column, that is going to simply be my university chances of admission basically. And once you do that, you will see that the target here has been selected as a chances of admission. And you will see that this is kind of, the target basically logo here, pretty cool. And you should be able to see the distribution as well of your data too. And what you guys see here is you have two options to build or train your model. You can either do a standard build, and that is going to take maybe 2 to 4 hours. That's kind of like real stuff, I would say. You are training like complex models. Or you can go ahead and do a quick build. This is basically prefers speed over accuracy, and you can build a model within 2 to 15 minutes max. So let's go ahead and select the quick build, and you can just go ahead and click on quick build. And here we go. What you guys see here is right now, it's telling you the expected build time is between 2 to 15 minutes. And right now, I would say I'm just going to pause the video, and then I'm going to be back once the model is trained successfully. So here we go. Now the model has been trained, and you should be able to see the model performance here. So it's telling you the model often predicts a value that is within plus minus 0.027 of the actual value for the chances of admission. And if you click on this info here, it will gonna tell you basically this metric here is the RMSE, or the root mean square error. And this is simply a measurement of the spread of your prediction. Of course, a smaller RMSE indicates that the model makes a lot more accurate predictions. What you could also see here, which is pretty powerful, on the left-hand side, you will see the actual impact of every single feature on the output. For example, here it's telling you the GPA has almost 43% impact on the university admission, on the target output. Next, you should be able to see the GRE score. You also have the letter of recommendation, statement of purpose, and so on. And you can go ahead and click on these. And every time you click on it, you should be able to see a nice plot here on the right-hand side that can show you the actual impact of this specific feature on the target output. So what you guys see here is, for example, the GPA and versus the impact on prediction. You will see that if people have a high GPA, for example, let's say here the GPA is, let's say 9.2, for example, or the C GPA is 9.2, you will notice that the impact here is way higher, it's like very high, meaning that if people have large or high GPA, most likely they will get admitted into that specific university. You can also change the GRE score, and you should be able to see that people who have high GRE score, they tend to have, again, higher chances of getting admitted to that specific university. If you click on scoring, you should be able to see here the actual data points, and you should be able to see as well the model here, and you should be able to see the bound basically for the RMSE or the root mean square error as well. And of course, it's telling you that the RMSE is within 0.027. Well, what if you wanted to maybe explore additional metrics, for example? Well, you can go ahead and click on advanced metrics. And here we go. You will see that now I have the R squared, or the coefficient of determination, of 96%. That means 96% of the variation in the output has been explained by variation in the input. And that's an amazing number, pretty good number. I also have the mean absolute error, and here I have the RMSE. And you should be able to see as well here, I have all the predicted values of chances of admission. And here I have what we call it the residuals. This is simply the actual values minus predictions. So if you hover on top of any of these points, you will see that the model predicted that this specific student, the prediction is 0.685. That's the chances of their admission to the university. However, their actual kind of the ground truth data was 0.73. If you subtract these two together, you will end up with 0.045, and that's simply the residual or the error or the difference between predictions versus actual. Pretty amazing. Now I can go ahead and say I wanted to deploy that model and make predictions. So if you click on predict, you should be able to see that you can run either batch predictions, like many predictions, or you can go ahead and select single predictions. All right, so let's go ahead and start to make predictions on my model. And this time I'm going to use batch predictions. So essentially I'm gonna have a set of data, testing data, and I'm gonna feed it into the model. All what you need to do is you need to go ahead and then say select data set. And then you need to simply upload a new data set to S3. So I'm gonna head back to S3. And then here I have what we call it the testing data set that I'm going to upload here. Simply, it's a CSV file that contains 5 sample data points. All right, so let me show you the testing data set. So here I have another CSV file. Let me grab that here. And simply I have here 5 data sets. And please note that these are independent data set that the model has never seen before during the training phase. And also please note that we don't have the prediction or column here, the chances of admission, because only I'm feeding in the inputs to my model only. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually say, okay, don't save. And I need to upload that data to S3. So I'm going to say, please grab my university admission testing here and upload it to the same bucket as well within S3. And then I'm gonna say close, here we go. Now I have the training data, and also I have the testing or holdout data set. Let's head back to SageMaker Canvas, and let's say I'm gonna go ahead and import another data set. So I'm gonna say go to my first Canvas model, please grab my testing data, import the data, and here we go, the data is ready. Okay, it's actually processing right now. And here we go, I'm just gonna select that data. Simply I have my 5 data points here. I can go ahead and then say, please go ahead, select it, generate predictions. And here we go. You guys will see that right now we are running inference on that model. So the model is trained already, and now I'm testing it out. And here we go. It's telling me that the batch inference right now is complete. Go ahead and view predictions. And here we go. What you guys see here, kind of by performing a very basic, simple sanity check, you will see that this is an actually very good student. Their GPA is 9.7. Statement of purpose is pretty strong, of 4. Letter of recommendation is 4. He came from a research background. The university rating that he or she came from was 4. TOEFL score was 117. So you will see that the prediction here was 0.94. They have a high chance of being admitted to the university. However, we have here another student. Their GRE score is quite low, 300. Their GPA is 7. And if you guys remember, GPA was one of the most important key feature that dictates what's going to happen to that specific student when it comes to admission to a specific university. And that's why you will see the chance here is like 50% chance. Basically, he has no chance. All right, so please make sure to come here, and once you are done with the Amazon SageMaker Canvas, you go to account and then you say log out. And here is telling you, are you sure you want to log out? And logging out will shut down SageMaker Canvas and stops any session hour billing. Yes, you say yes. And that is going to log out you here from SageMaker Canvas. And that will ensure that you don't incur any charges at all. And please note that as long as you are within the AWS free tier limit, you can build up to 10 models. And again, of course, if you are still within the first 2 months of signing up. And that's it. That's simply all I have for this project. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you like the video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a like and subscribe for more videos. Again, liking the video would help me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and see you guys in future videos.